Suburban Sentinel here, taking a little afternoon coffee break with my feathered friends. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the knockout game. Now, for any of you that haven't heard about this, this is supposedly a widespread game involving youth where a band of young people will run around cities and the suburbs looking for soft targets, meaning unarmed individuals who they will try to knock out with one punch. Now, if you believe the mainstream media reports, this is a growing trend and becoming a national problem. I'm not exactly sure if that is true. There are other issues, whether the knockout game has racist overtones, as it's blacks against whites. There is the distinct possibility that the media coverage of this supposed trend is actually driving the trend. But again, that issue is a little bit beyond the scope of this video. My concern, if this trend is in fact real, it is incredibly dangerous for not only the victims, but the perpetrators and society at large. For the average person on the street, this knockout game, again, if it is a real trend, is very dangerous. First, the intended victims are, for the most part, randomly chosen. Therefore, it's much more difficult to take precautions. If you are aware of your surroundings to prevent a robbery, obviously you do not wear fancy clothes or bling type jewelry, that sort of thing. But in a knockout game scenario, that would have no impact. Second, as the ultimate goal of this game is just to knock someone out, violence is the only option for the game players. They are not trying to take your property. It's very hard to defend against that sort of attack, even if you're well trained. Just about anybody can be sucker punched. The knockout game poses some serious legal risks from those of us who would be prone to self-defense. Assume for argument's sake that one of these knockout game players intends to victimize you, and in self-defense you use your concealed carry weapon and shoot them and seriously wound or kill them. Now, in my book, such a shooting would be entirely justified. However, the law, at least the law in your area, may not see it that way. Some government authorities, particularly in the more liberal states, would be inclined to prosecute you. The flip side of this danger is that to some stupid kid who makes a mistake and decides to play this game, he could be playing with fire. If a CCW holder defends himself, the kid who tried to punch someone could easily end up dead, and that would be a shame. There is already at least one case where a lawful CCW holder shot and wounded one of these knockout game players. This game is also terrible for society at large. It might tend to make people paranoid. A person walking down the street who meets a group of teenagers who are minding their own business may incorrectly believe that they are about to become a victim of this game. And certainly it would be awful for someone to use force against one person or a group of people who had no ill intent. One of the reasons I believe this knockout game could be so dangerous for society at large is that there are few reasons for the offenders to stop the trend. As youthful offenders, and these kids know the judicial system, they are aware that they won't be doing hard time for most offenses. In addition, there is very little chance that all but the extremely stupid ones who post videos on YouTube about their conquests will get caught. There's no motive for the police to pursue. There's no weapon used that they can be found with. And there's no property stolen that can be traced to an individual or group of individuals. My guess is that the only thing that will stop this trend, again, assuming arguendo it is a trend, is if a substantial number of the players of this game get sudden cases of lead poisoning. In the next video, we'll talk a little bit about the few things we can do to minimize the risk of us becoming a victim of the knockout game or the victim of the judicial system thereafter. Thanks for watching. This is the Suburban Sentinel. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see. Questions and enlightening comments are always welcome. Be safe, everybody.